the nation of Islam, it is believed that the white man was selectively bred from the black man by a scientist that went by the name of Yacub. The first mention of Yacub is in a Q&A pamphlet from Nation of Islam founder Wallace D. Faird. Today I will be examining claims Dr. Wesley Muhammad makes to defend this teaching. This belief held in the Nation of Islam is based on multiple false premises. Claim number 1, Wesley Muhammad claims that white people originated 6,000 years ago.
Race came on this planet 6,000 years ago. There are races on this planet. The brown, the yellow, the white. Those are races. Before their emergence 6,000 years ago, there was no race. So what we're talking about is...
A major problem with this is the presence of Neanderthal DNA in modern Europeans. Modern Europeans have a much higher amount of Neanderthal DNA than Africans, suggesting their ancestors bred with Neanderthals after leaving Africa. It would be impossible for this to have happened 6,000 years ago, as Neanderthals went extinct 40,000 years ago. Claim number 2, Dr. Muhammad claims the only people not created by Yacub is the black man and the indigenous Americans.
Also, if I'm following correctly, it sounds like from this story, everyone else besides the black man and woman were grafted into existence then.
That is correct. Now, with the exception of the so-called Red Indian. The so-called Red Indian is not a grafted people. They are an original people. They did not come they weren't born on the island of people.
Dr. Muhammad claims Asians were selectively bred from black peoples, but Native Americans weren't. This is an issue because Native Americans migrated out of East Asia and thus are closely related to East Asians. You could say they are an offshoot of the East Asian family tree. How is this possible if Native Americans are not selectively bred from black people but East Asians such as the Chinese and Japanese are? Claim number 3, Dr. Muhammad claims that Yacub analyzed the DNA of black people in order to perfect his technique. This is the easiest to respond to. No human who lived 6,000 years ago even knew what DNA was. The technology was not that advanced yet. To avoid accusations of straw man, because this claim is so absurd, here are the words from the man himself.
At 6 years old, he had an epiphany and came to knowledge of his mission in life. At 18 years old, he had completed every educational institution in Arabia at the time, during which he spent a lot of time in laboratories under microscopes, examining the genome of the black man and woman. So he was a...
Claim number 4, Dr. Muhammad claims that Yacub made white people from albino black people.
Among the natives of Ceylon, the occurrence of the albino, the offspring of dark-skinned parents, is not very uncommon. Moreover, the ethnologists of Ceylon, the Senegalese savants, are of the opinion that the white races of mankind are sprung from the albino and originally were merely an accidental variety. The speculation of the Senegalese respecting the origin of the white races of men is not without the semblance of probability. Dr. Davies is muted in them. And according to this Indian tradition, albinos born from among them gave birth to white people. And Dr. Davies says that he can countenance this origin of his people, but I would say that his description of this being an accident, that is where I take...
Albinism is typically caused by mutations in a number of genes. None of those genes include the SLC2405. A version of this gene, known as A111T, is believed to be the primary cause of differences in skin color in black people and white people. This wouldn't be the case if white people were selectively bred from albino black people. Another issue facing this hypothesis is the prevalence of albinism. Albinism has a higher rate of prevalence in African countries than European countries. This is the opposite of what we'd expect if white people were selectively bred from black people. Now that we have dealt with the false premises the story of Yacub is based on, we will talk about some of the more absurd claims in part 2.